My topic is experiences of educators who teach individuals with disabilities. So this is my table of contents. Hello everyone, my name is Ana Hernandez and this is my applied assignment. My topic is experiences of educators who teach individuals with disabilities. So this is my table of contents. Pre-work. My topic, like I mentioned, it's inclusions of individuals with disabilities and special education. Why I chose this topic is to understand the perspectives of educators and or individuals with disabilities. Prior knowledge would be individuals with disabilities face many stereotypes and other barriers. And these are the course materials that I use from the modules. And then my personal research are those two articles. I believe they're journals. Evidence and new learning. So I interviewed a professional service coordinator at the San Diego Regional Center, personal experience with my 4-year-old son, who currently has an IP for speech therapy, and then new learning for inclusion, equity and access. My topic is to focus on the experiences of educators who teach children with disabilities and special education. Why I chose this topic, I believe it's important to listen to the perspectives of the parents and teachers of children. Teachers spend 8 hours of their day with the students, incorporating new knowledge and finding resources to continue accommodating the needs of the children. Aspects of inclusion is social services, how the service is being provided to families and teachers throughout the beginning of the school year for young children. When applying to these services, does every healthcare provider approve the referrals? And technology, as technology evolves every day, how are gadgets or machines being provided for children with disabilities to accommodate their needs at school and at home? And some of these examples would be like a tablet that nonverbal kids could use to express themselves in school or at home to kind of help parents understand their needs and their wants. So for my topic, I decided to interview a provider who currently works as a service coordinator at the San Diego Regional Center. Priscilla has been working at this location for more than 2 years and has a BA in social work. She is my sister-in-law and she has helped me kind of understand my 4-year-old more and his way of reacting to certain things, what they could mean. Why I chose to interview her is because she has more experience working and assisting families of children with disabilities with supporting services. She also reviews assessments to determine eligibility for early start programs, make referrals for therapies, write reports, and then help families apply for other programs and schedule home-based visits with families to work on the suggested plan and teach the individuals different materials. Background knowledge that I have with this topic is I know families with individuals who have disabilities are constantly encountering barriers throughout the educational system, making it difficult to receive services or accommodations for school or even just at work. So the two articles that I used to support my topic are from I believe module 2 or 3 of the course, and I used this first journal, race, identity, stereotyping, and voluntary oppression. Because it explores the barriers individuals with disabilities encounter on a daily basis. Some of those barriers explained in this journal are race, identity, and stereotyping. By using this book, it will help me elaborate the struggles children's experience in either an educational setting or or for adults at a workplace. And then I was able to use this other article, Family Support of Persons with Disabilities Across the Life course, to compare the perspectives of families with children who have disabilities and how it has helped them self advocate throughout their educational attachment. This journal explains how family members are the key source and support for people with disabilities throughout their lives, and how important it is for the families to be there supporting them in every step. So the two articles I use to also support my topic are Sharing Perspectives for Educating Young Children with Disabilities, and I use this book because it provides insight on how parents and teachers view the development and school practices for young children with disabilities. This book also highlights the first time families with children who have disabilities get involved in the educational system and how they navigate around it, as well as advocate for their rights. It will also serve as a supporting resource for the interview that I conducted with my sister-in-law, who works as a service coordinator, and I was able to get more insight on what I would be expecting from her when I do the interview. And then the other book article that I got is another article that I found. It's based on a study where it was determined special and general education teacher perspectives of parent-teacher collaborations in support of children with mild to moderate disabilities. I will be using this book to compare with my topic of analyzing experiences between teachers and parents with individuals who have disabilities. So for my evidence, this is the email confirmation that I got with Priscilla. And some of the questions I was able to ask her was how she defined the term disability in her own words after being involved with children with disabilities. And then how does her job support individuals with disabilities. And she was able to tell me how it's through generic insurance or free resources, and if they can't receive resources throughout their insurance, they offer them other services that they could provide. And what are the qualifications to receive any type of services? She said early start 0 to 3, 25% delayed in 1 of 5 areas of development, and for the Lanterman Disability Act, having a eligibility diagnoses with either Down syndrome, intellectual disability, autism, and to be substantially delayed in 3 areas of development. And she was able to explain to me a lot more regarding the process of how one could get qualified, and that even though many don't qualify, there's other resources available to them, so they don't really ever, in some cases, as she stated, they do receive some sort of help. So the inclusion of individuals with disabilities in an educational setting, it removes barriers and stereotypes. It creates relationships, and it creates equal opportunity for these individuals. And then some of those would be higher academic achievement due to access to general curriculum, exposure to diverse learning needs, improves their own problem solving and collaborative skills, and then increase self-esteem and confidence from participating alongside peers, integrating self-regulation into their own everyday lives, and then reduces stereotypes and stigma around disabilities. And some of the stereotypes that I was able to learn about throughout the course is they tend to think that in people of learning because of their disabilities, but I feel like with the service provided to them that they need and the accommodations, they could really do a lot in class and really achieve other goals. And then equity supports policies involving equity for educational special education, encourage participation, providing services that enable individuals to thrive, encourage participation in school, workplace, and society, and then universal design for learning. And then access for individuals with disabilities. This one's one of the most areas that I learned a lot more in, and that is being providing more transportation, employment, higher education, and services for these individuals. The opportunity to receive services for every need, accessible transportation, and opportunity for more employment, better academic performance, higher graduation rates, and increased confidence within themselves, educational growth, as well as increased employment rates. As I continue to learn more about special education, something that I want to know is how can we continue to advocate for the inclusion of special education in general education, and some of the things that I think would help get to know this more is getting more involved in my community, talking to other advocates for special education, attend community board meetings or school board meetings to kind of learn more of what really goes on during these meetings and just get more knowledge regarding this topic. Some questions I have for my peers to hopefully get some answers on is, how do major theories of inclusive education shape your views of inclusion? And how do you think inclusion impacts classrooms, culture, and peer relationships? And how can schools ensure that inclusion is more than just physical placement in a classroom? Lastly, what aspects of your own preparation as a future educator feel strong, and what areas need further development to support inclusion education?